Okay, sorry for the break in time that I have not been here as much. Hospitals again, but anyway, thank you for your patience. I'm just having to play with a thing called the Gochifix. Gochifix. I'm not sure how you pronounce that, to be honest, but Ken from Gochifix was kind enough to send me one of these down from up there in Southeast Asia, and this is going to be a little bit of a different review. There are a lot of people review multimeters, and they prove to you that the multimeter can, register down to certain values. And it's funny, I was just checking this cap. This thing, it looks like a diode. It's actually a cap sitting here. And I thought, in circuit, let's see what, there we go. It's a bit terrible, but let's see what the old Gochifix says. And at the moment it says nothing, but now it does. About 57.31 microfarad. Now it's going to be a little bit off because I'm in circuit, if I took it out of circuit. Well, let's have a look. What do we got here on this fella? It's a bit dark here. 47 mic. You know what? Look, enough for me to know that that cap's okay with this meter. And a lot of meters, with capacitance values can be a little bit average at best. So that's actually not too bad, just having a quick look at it. Now, we're actually on today on a IFR 1000S, and I was having a quick look at this board here. We tend to check connectors, bits and pieces. Now, this is not about how to repair an IFR 1000S. This is more about a meter. But what I wanted to sort of get to was this meter I've been using when I've been here, and Ken from Gochifix knows I've had a bit of bad health lately. We actually had an offer that will expire at the end of this month set up. We're going to set the offer up for expiring the end of June. May, June, where are we up to? May, June, yeah, something like that. Sorry. That'll at least give you a chance to buy one of these at quite a discount, and save you a few dollars if you decide this is something for you. Now, so I've been using this everywhere from, I'm doing some fixes on a Pajero at the moment, one of the Mitsubishi Pajeros. So I've been playing auto electrician. I've been using it on a GMC Sierra, the one with the 350 Chev on it. So I've been playing auto electrician with this as much as I've been playing, electronics technician, etc. And this basically has been me trying to just give this meter a bit of a durability test, trying to get an idea just how it goes with being thrown around the place. As you can see, look, it's and I mean, I've been throwing this thing around. I've been, chucking it on the floor of the ute and as we've been doing different bits of work. The other job I did the other day was actually running. I played electrician with this thing, and this is really good with hot circuits, etc. I really enjoyed it actually because it has alerts, etc., that can save your life if you're kind of not thinking at the time. So I'll just take a seat. That's better. But look, it's a very general purpose multimeter, which people are going to compare to probably, 3 or 4 others that are out there at the moment. I actually own another one that I was using prior to this, but I've actually gone over to the Gochifix. Just a few functions on it that just are more auto for me. And, I just found that it was me not having to change leads over so many times and change scales and change, this thing auto ranges, extremely well. So certainly, as I said, I could be like every other, 35-minute video on multimeters trying to tell you, and prove to you, exactly what it does and all its different functions, like coming through and saying, right, let me show you the oscilloscope and let me show you how you can change waveforms, etc., and, we can do like so, or how can we generate a signal out of this thing, etc. Look, that's all very nice, and I really appreciate that it's on there. But I've got to be honest, for 98% of you, you're not going to use that function. You think about it, generally, if you're using an oscilloscope, you're on a bench with, other test equipment, and this is probably the worst example because I'm out in the American barn at the moment. But on my test benches, every bench has got test equipment all over the place. It's got oscilloscopes, it's got, signal generators, all the things we need are there. And it's very uncommon that you're sort of going to be analysing, maybe in a car these days, you might be analysing some digital circuits, but generally when we, sort of say, hey, it's got an oscilloscope function, It's a nice little function, for the odd time you might use it remote. But, this is not a 100 meg crow where, you can sit there and feed a HF signal into it and go, oh, look at that. That's really nice, well-rounded and et cetera. No, not at all. And it's not meant for that purpose. But for diagnostics and, certainly computer diagnostics in the automotive environment, I would see some applications there where you might want to check certain things that the service manual is telling you. But, these days, to be very honest, we really have the OBD2 systems, and I have an Autel system which is set up for all my cars. I've bought modules software modules for all the more exclusive cars, and most of the other cars were in there anyway. But some of the Porsche stuff I've had to buy. Mitsubishi, strangely enough, I had to buy. Some of that wasn't anyway. But yeah, but often they are asking you to then go check something and look for a signal. Because they're referring to manuals on screen. And, I can see where a crow might be a little bit handy there for sure. But generally, look, as a multimeter, volts, amps, capacitance, which is a big ask with, a couple of probes, so to do like this, it's actually reading fairly accurately. That capacitor we just checked over here, what is it saying? 47 microfarad, and I think we're at 50 something. In circuit, that is as good as I want to check. That's all I need to know to be able to say, okay, that's not my fault. That's just not happening. Well, certainly not under load when it's not under load. But I think the other nice thing about this is that it's USB-C. So basically, the port charger on the side there. Very simple to just charge in there and chuck a normal phone charger into it. And to give you an idea how long that battery goes for, I've been using this for quite a while the last few weeks. And have a look at my battery. It's still going beautifully. And I'm literally, since I got this thing down from Southeast Asia, I charged it once. It was about 3/4 charged then. I charged it once and I've had this for weeks. And I've been using it so much. So that just gives you a bit of an idea, just, how good it really is. But I just don't know if I could be bothered. This is going to sound terrible. I mean, I could plug this into a 240 volt socket and show you 50 hertz, sure, and I could do lots of, I do like their current, like a lot of multimeters these days. It is nice. Remember to change your probe over from here to here. That is one of the high current ones where you don't want to get that wrong. But, it literally won't work. You'll have to go to the 10 amp line and then put it over here to read that 10 amp. But that's a nice check. Once again, for the auto electricians out there, I know it's probably not who they're targeting with these things, but AutoElex, that's a nice feature to just test load off batteries and bits and pieces so that we can just know what's going on. I mean, if a car's, obviously we can check an alternator with the volt scale and check that it's working and charging, but also, we can see if there's a residual current that's being drawn when the car is off too, and we can have a look at what's going on. And the 10 amp, is a lovely, because honestly, sometimes you're talking 0.8, or even 1.5 amps that is being drawn on something that you just weren't aware of. We had one where an alarm went faulty, and it was just drawing current. It was just the alarm worked, but for some reason it was faulty, and it was causing this battery to drain over a few days, and that was the cheeky bit about it. It just took a few days to do that. Anyway, look, I'm just going to plug this board back in this unit here. There's probably a couple of things we can show you, but nothing really that interesting to be honest. But anyway, and we've just had a board out of this 1000S, and look, interesting. It's our fault. We either it's a voltage supply to that board or something sort of is going on. But as you can see, we're sort of now going through and just checking volts, bits and pieces, and seeing the hint is we think we've got an 11 volt rail missing somewhere. As you can see, this meter is quite accurate and fast to tell us what we need to know. 20 volts around there is pretty right. But, once again, I could rave on about this meter for the next 30 minutes like everybody else has. And some people have done some great videos on this meter to really, make you believe that this is the, current technology. Yep, it is. That it's the most accurate thing you're ever going to see. No, it's not. And that it's equal to any fluke out there. But whilst it's not equal to any fluke out there, it is awfully close. It's amazing what you're getting for under $100 these days. And with the discount, I think these things are going to come down way under that, actually. I can't remember what the offer was, but certainly I know I bought its competition. I'm trying to remember the name of that one. It was so good that it's sitting in a drawer somewhere now. And I mean that. I just felt this here was the better unit to use over the last few weeks. And I'm probably a little bit biased because, hey, got it for free, which is lovely. But by the same token, that never really means anything to me. That's going to be quite high. What have we got there? 20 volts there. So when the output of the little bridge rectifier in there. See, once again, there's nothing I'm going to show you about this meter that's going to make you go, oh, bloody hell, Brenton. You're going to be more impressed with the colour than you are anything else they're bright orange. You can find it, sort of. I suppose whilst I'm not doing the big breakdown of how many, millivolts accuracy I can show you on this meter, I'm sort of hopefully, appealing to more what is my subscriber, who is a radio nut, and loves playing around with radio bits and pieces like this here and everything else. And generally, my customers, they're not only radio nuts, but they're generally car nuts. They're mucking around with lots of different applications, and they're doing stuff around the house. So to me, bar the oscilloscope function, which I think does get into some stuff that I probably should be reviewing and trying to give you a bit more of a usage of. I've got to be honest with you. If you're buying this meter for the oscilloscope, buy an oscilloscope, or buy a meter without an oscilloscope because you don't really need it. Now, this goes against probably the manufacturer who's going to, say, well, hang on, we could tell you 100 reasons why you need the oscilloscope on this. And I'm sure you're right. But by the same token, I am the sort of person that, I'm probably the 90% of us out there in the fact that I just need to pick up my meter, use it practically for something. I've got really high precision equipment to do high precision jobs. When I need to know something 100% accurate, I'm probably not going to the Chinese meter. And I'm just going to be honest, but as I said, for 90% of the stuff I do, I don't need that level of accuracy. But I do need something I can throw around and I can, dump on the ground and, I've been smashing this thing around and doing lots of things with it. I've had no issues, especially as I've been using on the cars. I'm not really nice to my equipment and, it's done a fantastic job. So as you can see, look, it's a great meter. If you need a good meter, please look at the offer that's, attached to our page. I think it's a good offer. The one thing I will say is I thought the capacitance meter was better than anything I've seen on most of these meters that say they can do capacitance, especially in circuit like we checked with that little cap. And let me tell you, that 47 microfarad that came up at 54 or 56 microfarad, in circuit, that's an okay cap. I know we're not loading it down or doing anything, but I do want to say the capacitance side, great. Hertz, yeah, good on you. Some of these other scales, whatever. Just to show you how it starts up, actually, good point. You'll see it goes into voltage mode on the first click and it's a very quick startup time. So from basically you turning it on, it doing its little computer check, bang. And once again, to get into Pro mode, only taking a couple of seconds and generate mode, etc., etc. So, yeah. Anyway, so that's pretty much my you're going to have to call this more of a practical sort of discussion on the Gochifix, I don't know. Maybe we go to a contest on how to pronounce the name, but we'll see. All right, guys, the offer is going to be on the page and it'll be in the description. And certainly if you want a decent multimeter that's not a lot of money, go check out the offer. Look, it is very good value for what it is. And remember that it's posted to your door. You don't have to whip in a J-Car. J-Car don't have anything close to this at the price these guys are selling at. And just my Chinese compatriots up there, look, our local shops here, they don't sell anything close to this for, under $200 or $300. So you know, there's no question that where you're pricing it at is definitely something that's appealing to Australians. So anyway, all right. Well, to those who wanted the big technical description, maybe I can put a couple of links in there to someone who did a magnificent 30-minute video. I think it was 33 minutes. I nearly fell asleep of describing how this multimeter works, and but he did a good job. But I just, as I said, I just need my sleep, I suppose. All right, guys. 73 is all the best, and if this is something for you, I certainly can recommend that. It's a great little meter. It's really the go. My wife here said what?
Please click like and subscribe, and if you comment, Brenton tries very hard to come back and answer you.
Oh, really? You got the Porsche top on. Is that now, and anybody wants to donate a car to me, Porsche GT3 RS. I've got the GT4, but it sounds like I'm going down in numbers. So if you want to donate a GT3 RS,
a pink one.
I'll even take pink for a GT3. I don't care. Anyway, yeah, GT3. Just don't even wait for a reply from me. Just bring the GT3 RS here and we'll give you a GT4. All right, 73s, guys. All the best. Cheers.